Hi there, folks. This is Adam with 8 Badge Gaming coming back to you today with the fourth game in our Zoroark GX Alolan Exeggutor series. So far, we're currently sitting at 2 and 1, having beaten the Espeon Garbodor deck in our first round. We're also beating out the uh, Lapras deck that has actually been showing up a little bit in our second round, and then losing to the Apes in the third round, losing to the Passimian combo there, where they're just trying to get one Passimian that can hit for a hell of a lot of damage. We did encounter a little bit of a bug there where our Mew, even with the proper energy requirements, was unable to copy the Dangerous Rogue GX from our opponent's Lycanroc to be able to take a KO and hopefully eke out a win there. But we'll take what we can get, and we're just going to go ahead and dive on into the queue here now for our fourth game. So right now, it looks like we're against a Metal Psychic Water deck. This is likely, say, a Duskmane variant. I know Duskmane has been seeing quite a bit of play. It is fairly strong. We guessed a heads, and we finally actually got the first turn. So this is great. Having the first evolution here is going to be pretty good for us. Starting with an Execute isn't as great, but we do have the ability to do Execute and just a Bridget from starting hand here to be able to go ahead and immediately start just diving into the evolutions on our second turn. Now, we don't have much else. I don't think we're really going to expend the puzzle here to try and set up our draw for the following turn. I think we might look at doing that before we do the Zoroark draw effect on our turn, but we'll really have to see. So we're going to go ahead and put our Execute into our active here, see if our opponent throws down any other Pokemon here, and we're going to see how it's going to go for us today. So let's go ahead and start off. So it looks like we're actually against Metagross with Necrozma. So we're going to bridge it here, and I think we can just straight bridge it for 3 Zoroarks. It looks like one of our Zoroarks is prized. We have another Execute in hand. We do have our Mew. One of our Lele's is prized. One of... Oh, no, none of our Alolan Executors are prized. One of our Field Blowers is prized. We have a puzzle in hand. One of our Acerolas is prized. One of our Ends is prized. And a Choice Band is prized. But it looks like we have all of our energy available to us. Alright, so we're just going to go for 3 straight Zoroarks here. Throw down a more different Execute. And I think we'll go ahead and put an energy here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pass back to our opponent here now. See if they're going to be able to start getting the setup that they need. Now, they're not going to be able to do any evolutions, and it looks like they don't have any draw supporters or anything else there. So, I think what we want to do here now is we're going to Ultra Ball, pitching our Field Blower and our energy. We're going to use our Ultra Ball to go for a Lele. We're mainly looking for sheer card draw here at the moment. We're going to go for a Lele, and I think we're going to go for a Cynthia, because while we are going to evolve our Zoroark, we don't want to be discarding a Puzzles of Time, as we've discovered. We're not going to go for an N, because we don't want to fix our opponent's hand in any way where he just didn't do anything at all on his first turn of the game. We're going to throw down our Zoroark, and we're going to go ahead and Cynthia. So we have one basic energy type in our discard here now. We can throw an energy here. We can throw down our Zoroark. We can do a trade. And we're going to pitch one of the 2 Ultra Balls, because it would have been pitched to the other Ultra Ball anyways, but we want to go up cards. We're going to Ultra Ball, pitching the Multi-Switch and the Kartana here. We're going to go for another Zoroark, because we want to keep the card train going here. Throw down a Zoroark. We're going to use the trade ability to trade a Field Blower. We're going to keep the Sycamore just because we want to be able to fill our hand again next turn. We're going to trade the Mew here because it's a liability. While it can one-shot the Necrozma, it's still not really where we want to be. And I think we keep the Professor's Letter in hand for now and we pass. Because next turn we can Professor's Letter and get 2 energy. I think we can actually do some card draws without actually using the Sycamore yet, uh, which will potentially get us a bit deeper into the deck, give us a little bit more variety there. We're down to 28 cards in deck, so we're significantly further ahead, I guess I should say, than our opponent in card draw. Though a Sycamore is going to catch him up a little bit here. What do we see him discard? A Metagross and a Solgaleo, a Field Blower, and a Guzma. We're seeing him attach a Metal Energy to the Necrozma, which doesn't seem like the smartest of plays. But let's go ahead and we're going to Professor's Letter here. We're going to go for 2 garbage energy that we're not going to be using for any actual attacks in this game. And we're going to go ahead and start the trade train here. So we're going to start off by pitching the Dark Energy. Then we're going to trade and pitch the Fairy Energy. I think that's going to be followed up by an Evolution here. We're going to hold on to the Choice Band actually, but we're going to trade off this energy because we're trying to get a Guzma because we want to hit the Metang while we can. None of that is a Guzma. Let's see. N gives us access to new cards. We can go Choice Band on one of the Zoroarks. We can do a Floatstone here and a Floatstone here. We're going to then N. We're going to go for a different set of cards here, but we did want to get a bit of thinning going. We got the Guzma, and we're up to 4 types of energy and discard. So we're hitting for 100 right now with the Tropical Shake. So what we're going to do is we're going to retreat into the Exeggutor, and we're going to toss down a DCE on a Zoroark. And we're going to go ahead and do a Tropical Shake to take a prize against this Beldum here. Our opponent, I don't think, has energy in bin right now. I'm going to double check there now once I get this out of the way. We've got a Lele. Yeah, so he doesn't have energy in bin, so even if he does evolve into a Metagross, it's not getting him terribly far ahead this turn. Let's see. So, if he doesn't evolve into Metagross here, oh, never mind. It kind of moots our point. We're not going to be able to Guzma, but I was going to say we would actually go Guzma to bring up the Metang and KO that. We did get a Sycamore, and we did get Double Puzzle back again. We don't have anything particularly useful in the bin, and it looks like our opponent's actually going to go ahead and scoop it up. So what we're going to actually do is I think we're going to segue into our 5th scene, or rather our 5th game here. We're going to keep it together as essentially just one big go of it all, I guess I should say here. So let's see. Let's go ahead and we'll update our image very quickly. So let's get this brought up here. For our game 5, we're going to OK that. And we're going to go ahead and hop back into our queue right away. So this one will be a bit of an extra long video, but we do want to get our 5th game in there. Anything that we find is usually a game that's going to be under, say, 10 minutes. We kind of want to give you a bit of a better viewing experience than that. Our opponent did get terribly card stuck there, so it wasn't really the greatest change there for him. It was a little bit of a bad time, to say the least. He wasn't able to get going at all, and when he's attaching a metal energy to a Necrozma, it's not the greatest for him. So we're against a Psychic Grass Dark deck here. Either based on the coin, he's Decidueye Zoroark, or he's Golisopod Zoroark. Now, I think we're fine in either matchup. We're going to be able to take some early KOs, I think. It depends on how slow they are in their setup. I think we keep... Actually, no. We're going to go ahead and toss down the Execute. We'll let them know right off the bat what we're playing, basically. So let's see what we get flipped up here. So he does start a Tapu Lele. So that's not a good start for him. We do have the turn 1 Bridget with the ability to Ultra Ball to go for a Lele for a draw supporter on our 2nd turn. He did go for Cynthia himself, likely going to be shuffling away the hand. It's likely a bad one there, and we are totally fine with him actually committing 2 bench slots to Tapu Lele's. They're not the greatest attackers against us, so we'll take what we can get. So he does start off with the ability to have a Rowlet here. He's probably Ultra Balling for another Rowlet, or no, he's going for a Zoroark. So it is the Zoroark Decidueye. I was able to call it based on the coin there, and I very likely feel he has another draw supporter in hand here. So we're simply just going to start off with the Bridget. We're going to go for double Zoroark. So it looks like we have a Zoroark prized, one of our Zoroarks is prized, one of our Alolan Exeggutors is prized. Let's show our playmat for a second. We've got a puzzle in hand, and 2 of our Ultra Balls. Our Multi-Switch is there. Our Rescue Stretcher is there. In our supporters, we're missing a Guzma. Let's see, in the energy, we're missing a DCE, as well as our Dark Energy. So that's our 6 prizes. So we're going to go for double Zorua, and I think we go for an egg here. So let's go for an egg. Yeah. So let's go ahead, throw that down here. And I think we actually puzzle of time, because we're going to see what our top 3 cards are here. We've got the Lele on the top anyways. So that's actually great for us, because that means we can use our Ultra Ball to discard the second Ultra Ball in the energy to go for our Zoroark instead. So we can get a Zoroark suited up right off the bat. So that is a great idea to begin with there. We are going to be pitching that fighting energy, and our opponent is immediately going for the trade on the Zoroark here. If he had a draw supporter, I figured he likely would have used the draw supporter first, and I'm hoping that he doesn't get a draw supporter here. He does have the DCE, no way to actually ship it back. So let's go ahead and go for the Lele. The Lele is going to go for a Sycamore here. So let's go for Sycamore, because we don't mind discarding the Rescue Stretcher. We're pretty well set up. We have some consistency in what we have. So let's go for a Zoroark here. Throw the Zoroark down. We don't want to, or we can't Rescue Stretch or anything back in anyways. So we're going to Sycamore, go for just some strict card draw here. Throw down a Zoroark for an evolution. Let's see, we're going to attach a TCE. We're going to trade away. I like the Kartana here if a bench spot opens up. So let's trade away the Alolan Exeggutor, because he's not actually going to be great for us. And then we want to do an Ultra Ball. We're going to pitch the Guzma and the N. We don't want to put our opponent up cards. We're going to go for our third Zoroark here. And throw down the Zoroark. We're going to trade away the Cynthia, because we have 3 straight Zoroarks going here. We're not going to have to worry about any potential shutdown on our opponent's side here. We're going to trade away the energy here, because I like having the Sycamore as a backup for card support. And now we're just going to go for a Riotous Beating for 120. So we're going to soften up that Lele pretty significantly there. Our opponent might be able to one-shot one of our executes here if he has a Guzma. I'm totally fine seeing the N, because it actually puts us up a card and likely gives us a little bit more in the way of discard fodder. Especially now that we're up to 2 energy in bin, we have the ability to be up to 4 different types of energy in bin on our turn. Let's see, we did have a Puzzle of Time draw there as well. We've used one of the puzzles. We've got a Floatstone here, and he's likely going to go for the Smack here on our Zoroark as well. So, let's put some thought into this. It really kind of depends on what we draw. So if he's going for the Decidueye, that means he's got the rare candy in hand. So he's going to be able to start getting some of that free damage. We do have the ability to Field Blower away the Floatstone on the Lele. but I don't think we care so much about it because we're not KOing anything right now. We'll likely see some damage on an... Oh no, it's actually going to be on the Zoroark here, which seems like a waste to me because he's still going to be forced into a two-shot here either way. So we're only hitting for 80, so I guess we're looking at trying for a three-shot. So let's see. Let's go ahead and start with a trade. We're going to trade away a Metal Energy here. We're going to trade away a Psychic Energy because we're probably going to be Acerolaing. We're going to put down a Choice Band. We're going to trade away a Lele. Down to 20 cards in deck. We're going to Acerola. Put up our Zoroark GX. Throw down a Zorua. We're going to throw a DCE on him. And we're going to go for a Riotous Beating. So this is going to be 150 damage on our opponent's Zoroark here. He's not going to be able to KO back. Now, if he does get a Guzma, he can force up our Zorua from the bench to try and take a KO, but I don't know if he's really in the situation to be able to do that. He is going to trade away his last card, which was another Zoroark. He's likely trying to just dig for a draw supporter here, something that will get him out of this situation. We're going to see a little bit of spread damage here. Let's see where he goes. It is going to be on the Zoroark again this time, which is a bit of a spicy maneuver. And we're likely going to see what the Hollow Hunt GX here. Yes. So we don't have a Guzma, and we have one in our bin. I don't remember off the top of our head if Guzma was prized, but we do have the ability to puzzle back a Guzma right now. We can also puzzle back the Acerola to keep the damage going there, essentially. So let's go ahead here now. We're going to evolve this into a Zoroark. We're going to double puzzle. We're going to get back Acerola. Actually, we don't need Acerola. Let's actually go for Guzma and the other puzzle, because then that gives us the ability to do a double puzzle later on in the game. We're going to Guzma up his Zoroark, put up our Zoroark. We're going to throw down a DCE. We're going to Field Blower away the Float Stone on his Lele, so he doesn't get a free retreat on his turn. And then I think we're going to start a little bit of trading here. So we're going to trade the Sycamore because we don't want to discard our hand. Not in any way, shape, or form. We can do a Professor's Letter here, going for 2 energy. We can discard the Fairy Energy to a trade here now as well, going a little bit deeper, and we can discard one of the Grass Energies, because we only really need the one in hand, though I suppose we technically should have just traded the Bridget. We're going to go ahead and do a Riotous Beating here, taking a KO on our opponent's Zoroark, the first KO of the game, and taking 2 prizes. So that is another Zoroark and our Alolan Exeggutor. So I assume now if our opponent doesn't have an N, a way to disrupt the amount of cards that we have in hand here, I think we go for... let's see. Oh, no, the Max Potion takes that idea out of being able to go double puzzle for a Guzma. Our opponent is going to be doing a Cynthia. He's really trying to get a DCE here. So let's see. We don't need to do any further trading. I think what we potentially want to do here now is if he attacks, we go... Or he doesn't have the DCE by the looks of it. Otherwise, I think he would be snap attaching. Oh, and he didn't have the DCE, so we were able to take a win there. Now, if he hadn't essentially hopped back to a quick concession there, what we would have been looking at is trying to uh, possibly Acerola, the soon-to-be damaged Zoroark, back into our hand. We would then throw down our Kartana from our hand to take the DCE off our opponent's Zoroark, putting him a little bit further into being stuck. Where it had a choice band on it, he didn't have the ability to get a float stone on it to get it out of the active. We move up our Zoroark, or our Alolan Exeggutor, possibly the Alolan Exeggutor there because it's not taking a one-shot back in any way, though the Zoroarks are fine in there as well, but promoting a one-prize attacker is probably the best solution, and really just try to go for the KO. So, 2 games overall still took us just over 20 minutes. I do apologize for the longer than average video there, but we did want to give you that extra bit of content. I know watching a very short game on my side is usually a little less enjoyable, so we always want to give you the best content possible. I know it's not great to begin with, but at least we want to give you what we can. With that said, we're currently sitting at 3-1. Sorry, I believe actually no, we're 4-1, losing only to the Monkeys. So overall, it's been a great series of games. It's a pretty strong deck. I can definitely see why it was able to take 44th place at the regionals in Madison. Zach Zamora did definitely throw together a good deck here overall. So with that said, as always, thank you for your viewership. We greatly appreciate it. And this is Adam with 8 Badge Gaming signing off.